almost the exact opposite spectrum, but it's almost still like looking directly back into a mirror.
Like same playground, different swing set.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, because
Yeah.
I mean, you've got such a different. Nice to meet you, I'm Payton.
Nice to meet you, bro. What you been up to today?
Well, I mean, I just got done with rehearsals. We did a Wind Symphony rehearsal today, and then before that, it was just loads of practice.
Heck yeah. So what instrument do you play in the Wind Symphony? Are you part of the Wind Symphony, or do you just help?
Yeah, so I'm a part of the Wind Symphony. I play trombone primary, but I'm also... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you totally get what I mean already. So I play trombone in the Wind Symphony. I'm in the second chair for that. But I also play multiple other instruments that I was practicing that day. So like bass guitar, piano, things of the sort.
Heck yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Of course. And I mean, especially whenever we're music majors, you're going to find that most everyone there has got another instrument. I mean, some people are even pulling out recorders. It gets kind of crazy around there.
Playing hot cross buns.
Oh, yes. and the boom whackers are the most fun. It really are.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So what's your major?
So I'm broadcast audio production. So it's instead of playing live music, I do a lot of like behind the scenes like engineering or live sound tech. So we do a lot of like microphone arrangement, build speakers, solder cables, set up and tear down different venues, operate sound systems, stuff like that. So basically anything and everything nerd for sound and video.
Right, so you basically just make the music go.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
I
make
get you.
them sound all pretty in the microphone.
Well, that's so crazy. It's like coming full circle, going from like someone who's like creating the sound, but I mean, I can only get it so far across the room, and that's your job to do the rest of the work
Right,
there.
we're like yin and yang.
Right.
So I'm saying, if you ever need somebody to engineer, but how'd you get into that type of thing?
So I've been doing music since I was probably in like kindergarten. I mean, that's whenever we started doing like solid amount of like do, re, mi, fa, so,
Yeah.
like all those different things. And like I was just always so interested by the idea of like having fun.
Right.
Like from a young age, like that's always something that's so important for children is this idea of how can I have fun while I'm at school. Just because you got math, you got reading, which can sometimes be a snooze fest.
Right.
But being able to go to music was like a light bulb for me, basically. And it was like the most fun I could have of the day was spent inside the music room doing stuff. So I did that through all of like elementary school, having fun with boom whackers, clapping our hands, stomping our feet, everything in between. And then I got to start picking instruments, and that's where it really took off. And it was like we made it to the bottom of the actual mountain, and now we're climbing all the way up it. And man, did things take off real quick from there. I mean, since you're like really passionate about music yourself, like how about you for like early on music?
So like always have I had a love of engineering music because it's so much fun to be able to just like completely customize all the sounds. But also I think that is where it really went into like a snowball for me. It went from more like, oh, this is kind of fun to like, wow, like I think I could really do this as like a career, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I got to college, I actually started out as computer science because I still wasn't sure if I wanted to take the music thing full time. And I was kind of teetering on the edge of being a video game programmer, like pondering for a semester. I was undecided. And I was like, well, shoot, I'm already engineering music for hours on end in my spare time. Like, why don't I just take this and see how far I can go with it?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like a 3-stage process. It was like, this is a hobby. Then, oh man, like maybe I could, really do this as like a side hustle. And then it was like, whoa, this can be my career. You know what I mean? So
I guess I have a question to kind of go right off of that. How do you want to use your degree to make a difference in the music community in general?
Yeah. So I love that question, actually. I just want to say that. On top of me getting my degree in audio engineering, I also own an LLC for an independent record label. I want to be able to give the most power to the artist that I can because we're in there to make art. We're in there to have fun.
Yeah,
we're in there
absolutely.
to literally do something we love doing and chase our dreams. So it's like, the best thing for me to make a difference would be to empower the people that I work with.
Absolutely. I always admire the people that get a degree in music or music production and stuff because they have to go in such a different approach with it because they have to find what they're going to good at. They need to put their foot down. They need to get some like kind of footing so that they can get and climb up the ladder later on kind of thing.
It's like forced ambition.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to put it, actually. And I think it's so important that you were talking about the idea of how like music is so spontaneous and there's so many different like ideas to it. And my passion is a lot with education based on that. And I think that if students could understand that music is more about expression and emotion than it is about creation and rules, because we're taught in school that we see a quarter note and a quarter note equals one beat, and then we see a key signature and a key signature is what we play in. But there's so much on top of that encapsulates not only that umbrella of music, but you can grow on top of it.
Right, you can just jump in and start.
Yes, you can jump in and start anywhere, and you can take off from there, and there's more to it than just understanding how to produce it yourself. There's also music enjoyment in general that everyone's doing on a daily basis. I mean, just walking around campus, I can guarantee you 99% of the students got headphones in and they're listening to music. If they're driving a car, they've definitely got music on the radio and things of the source. And it's just such a universal form that even if you don't think that you're enjoying music or you're a musician or you're an enjoyer of music in general, you deep down you really are.
You're subconsciously digesting.
Right.
I'm a little bit involved with the international community here. A lot of the international students. One of my best friends is from Nigeria. And so he played me a lot of music from Africa. And it's like, even if I don't understand the words, I can understand the general concept and the vibe based off, you know, the way the bass notes are structured, the melody, the specific drums that are in it. You know, I can get an emotion conveyed to me without being able to speak the language because of music, because of the way that you digest the instrumental and the way that the cadence is. Like it's, it's a universal language.
And to think about it, it's literally just like big old vibrations of sound.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that it is.
Yeah, we're just plucking a string. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bro, it's fun. But it's weird how it works like that. You know what I mean? What do you feel like your kind of 5 to 10 year plan is? Like, what is your dream post-graduation when you become a music educator? Like, what is your, like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to inspire these kids to do this. I want to work here. Kind of what's your, like, dream goal?
What I see myself doing in about 5 or 10 years from now is getting a master's degree in wind conducting and just focusing on how we all can create music in different ways. And I want to host more than just your typical ensembles that you see on a campus, because when you go to a high school, maybe you'll see a marching band, maybe you'll see a jazz band, maybe you'll see a concert band. But I'm thinking that there's more than that comes into music in general. What if we have a club for our jazz combo players? So we've got like 3 saxophone players, and we've got 1 trumpet player up there playing. What if we get some people involved and we get a scat group involved? So now we're doing something with the choir. What if we're also doing a 5 quartet and we add 2 saxophones and three vocalists on top of it? And the biggest one that I think gets more people involved are the students that are maybe, sometimes you'll see them as athletes, sometimes you'll see them as people that are just coasting by but they want a hobby in playing guitar or drum set. Let's make a gig band for them. Let's do it after school, and I'll help them get it started. But it's just encouraging everyone, no matter what, that there's a way that we can create music with you, and I want you a part of my band no matter what.
Exactly. And, you know, I appreciate you being inclusive like that. That's actually super wholesome. Right. But I agree, you know, like, especially now that I'm managing a couple of different artists, like, it's fulfilling and wholesome to be like, oh my gosh, like, guys, we're going to do a show, you know what I mean? Or, oh my gosh, guys, like, we're rehearsing for this performance, or like it's like, you know, you're watching progression in real time. And I almost just want everybody to feel like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I would think that from there, like, I get enough of the reins that I feel confident enough that I can take it to a smaller district somewhere else where maybe they don't have all of that, but I can bring it with me and I can bring that knowledge with me so that we're spreading it to other places. Because it's always great to be inside a large city in a large school district.
But everybody needs resources.
Everybody needs education. Every single person needs education, and they need good education. That is what keeps students from going further than high school, is having a solid education and finding something that they appreciate so much that they want to continue to do it. Yeah. And kind of to go off of what I'm saying with the whole continuous of having motion and like that, for you after college and everything, like, what do you want to do to keep going and keep pushing yourself and keep challenging yourself?
So I actually, thankfully, just secured a position at this company called HMX Live. And they do all of the sound tech, video tech, and lighting setup, teardown, and operation for a ton of different venues and corporate conferences around Kansas City, and they travel as well. So we do like the Kansas City Symphony. We'll go and we'll configure all their speakers. We'll set up all their microphones, do the whole stage. I don't know if you know Chloe Peterson and Kendrick.
I do, yes.
I'm gonna work with them. They're gonna be my coworkers.
Wonderful.
They're
Yes.
audio tech, I'm video tech. And so things like that, you know what I mean? Like being able to just put yourself in the scene. So yeah, I'm very thankful that I got this job, because not only am I gonna be continually practicing my craft every day, B, I'm gonna be getting paid to do something I love, you know what I mean? And C, we're gonna make the connections through the concerts and through the venues and through networking that we need to propel everybody farther, you know what I mean? I come from a very small town. It's called Gillum. We have 110 people in town. Like when I tell people about that, they're like, do you guys have torches and pitchforks and hay?
Right.
Like, is everybody riding on horseback? You know what I mean? Like we're not even a town, we're a village, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so, but you know, like my music class was just like, we did one recorder concert, you know, every once a semester. And after that, it was over. You know what I mean? We did Soft Kitty and Hot Cross Buns. You know what I mean? And then I went to high school, you know, and it's still a small school, you know, 120 kids in the school.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, like we don't have guitars or wind instruments. Like if you can't buy your own, then you're probably not even going to be in the band.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so again, like it's why it's good to have people like you who want to encourage people and give people knowledge that may not have it.
It's so interesting hearing from somebody who is on almost the exact opposite spectrum, but it's almost still like looking directly back into a mirror.
It's like same mindset, but like different upbringing.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, because I mean, you've got such a different background, but the passion and the drive for music is still there, and it's that like fire that we want to ignite in other people.
Yeah.
And we want to create some kind of spark for them so that they feel the exact same passion that we feel.
Right. It's like, I love this so much that I want you to love what you love just as much as I love my passions.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
and the most important part is it doesn't matter if yours is different than mine.
Exactly. What experiences have you had that you feel like helped to drive your passion for music?
Yeah, so I was actually a very similar boat as you in high school, but a little bit more embarrassing, actually. So whenever I was in high school, I had a friend who was obsessed with Elvis Presley, just absolutely obsessed with the king of rock and roll. Right?
Yeah.
And he was talking to me and he said, Payton, I know that you know how to read music. I have no idea how to read music. Can you help me with this? And I said, I can do you one better. I can get you a full ensemble together and we'll make this a band and we'll do a thing with it. And his name was Jeffrey, and so we called it Jelvis Live.
That's
awesome.
And
it was a huge production that we got together. And the first, and it was like what you were saying earlier, the first couple of rehearsals, I mean, we sounded like a dog barking through a megaphone. Like it was ridiculous sounding at first, but we started like honing things in a little bit more, and we started getting like the real rock and roll that we wanted out of it, and that sparked a passion in me that made me want to do more and more and more on top of that. So I said, okay, if we can do this with just a guitar player and a drummer, a singer, and then me playing bass guitar and writing some music out, let's get more people involved with it. I started asking some people from the theater department if they wanted to help out, and they wanted to help us put on an actual show. And that show raised over $500 from it, from ticket sales alone, and it was just because it was all these students that wanted to put a band together. And after 2.5 years of struggling in a practice room, we said, we want to put it on the stage and we want to give it like an actual like performance. And that just sparked like something in me that said, okay, if we can do this on our own free time without the help of a teacher, imagine what would happen if we were doing the same thing but with a teacher. So I said, okay, I'm going to music school. I'm going to learn how to be a teacher, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the same thing. So I get to college, and I'm in a music fraternity called Phi Mu Alpha.
Connor Grove, yes.
Connor, yes. So Connor Grove Betts is in the fraternity with us, and he actually he sings in one of the bands that I play in. But we started just doing smaller bands and stuff like that, and so I play in a band on campus now called the 4-5. And it's about 12 of us. We just got done doing a recording session down in Wells Hall last week. But we play for the tri-fraternal formals that we host. We've also played for gigs such as weddings. We've gone out and we did a memorial ride for a child who passed away in Kansas City. We did a performance at a bar for like a big biker gang of like 100 people, and it was crazy, but it was also like 105 degrees outside.
Right.
But doing things on top of that, and then doing some small things like learning how to direct in general. So now I'm directing stuff for the concert band, directing stuff for the jazz band, and I feel like that's making it even better for me on my gig band side of things, to where now we're growing in progress, that I feel like every single time we go into a rehearsal, we get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better.
I heard that you got to do the Missouri Theater.
So yeah.
Explain about that.
So it started off with an internship that I did for Sweeney Todd that they did, and it was just so much fun. And I talked to them. I said, you know, I play bass guitar, I play trombone. If you need anything for that, so they invited me back this past summer, and I got to play in the orchestra pit. I played standing bass, so the big one.
The dong-a-dong,
oh yeah, the big
dong-a-dong.
doom, 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 doom.
That's awesome.
The really big one. And I played in Annie the musical there, and they paid me for it. And it was the first time that they gave me money, and they said, you did such a good job that here's some money, and then a bonus on top of that. And it was the first time that I got something, and I was like, whoa, this is
real.
Yes, this is something that, like, this is what my degree is doing. Like,
Exactly.
It's exactly what my degree is doing, and it empowered me more. And I'm a big believer in this, that I think that 80% of music and the preparation of music is about the love of it, and only about 10% of it is really the money. And then everything on top of that is just you guys slacking off in general. That's what I say to my band all the time. As I said, we've got about 80% of enjoyment, 10% money, and that 10% of us just goofing off and doing nothing.
Yeah.
All right, and I think I have only one comment to make. So just coming from like a live musician to someone that I might see in like a recording studio someday is, can you please put box fans in there? Because it gets so hot
Brother,
and so sweaty.
I'm going to do you one better. I've got 2 in the studio right now.
Right? Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need.
It gets hot in there, man.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, shoot. So go ahead and just kind of to wrap up. It was awesome getting to meet you and get to talk to you. It's cool to see like the diversified perspective of somebody who comes from music education and not so much music, like my nerd tech engineering kind of side of things.
Right,
you
and
know
the
what I mean?
creation-esque
Yeah,
side.
yeah. We're like same playground, different swing set.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, thank you for taking your time out of the day to come and talk to me. Thanks for being a kick butt rock star.
Well,
you know what I mean?
and like I said earlier, it's almost like we're like, from an outside perspective, it seems like we're on different sides of the spectrum, but it's also seriously just like looking into a mirror and seeing someone who has the same passion, the same drive, but we're in 2 different boats.
Right.
But we're sailing down the same stream. We truly are. And I really did enjoy getting to work with you today and talk with you just a little bit. And I hope that your studio becomes extremely successful in the future. And I hope that like someday I can maybe even bring my students to come and tour it out themselves.
Hey, we'll be successful as soon as we get air conditioning.
Right, seriously. That's all that we need. That's all that we need.
No, it was awesome to meet you, brother.
Yeah,
I hope everything that you are chasing comes fulfillment for you.
Yeah.